Kia ora guys, Bird here. Welcome to episode 33 of Thaumcraft for Addons. Guess where we're starting the episode today? We're starting over here once again by the future energized node that'll be powering up the base with its 100 VC-ness. Pretty awesome, but let's go ahead and take a look at it today to start the episode off. We're up to 75 periditio in there, so it's not rising as fast as I'd like, but it's still going up fairly quickly. I think I actually haven't given it as much time as I normally do to charge. I don't have much time on this particular day of the week anyway. And what we're going to do today is work on the Essentia Locus. I believe this is the next item in the crystalline brain sort of area that you guys have suggested that we work on. So that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to need our scribing tools and our paper. Very waterlogged R's right there today, Bird. Go ahead and pick up that research note. It is very light blue coloured. If I had to guess, this is going to have sensus inside it. Let's see. And there, sure enough, it is there. Oh no, that's aqua. Well, close enough. It is fairly blue. The blues are kind of hard to do. Precantatio and cognitio along for the ride as well. Pretty awesome. I think this one's going to be fairly straightforward, actually. Yeah. Because what I'm thinking of doing is doing venenum, periditio, vitium, and this guy can probably just connect with death, you know, with spiritus. Oh, where are we? There we go. That has got to be a record win on the instability right there. Did it start raining? I think it literally just started raining outside. Okay, maybe you probably guys won't be able to hear that. That's a bit odd, considering we're coming into the summer months here. Anyway, the Essentia Locus has finally been unlocked. Hello! What the heck is this thing? The Essentia Aggregator. Streamlining distribution. That's a purchasable. Okay. Kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and read about what we just discovered, though. The Essentia Locus controlling the tide. You have plans for a system that will unify and guide the production and distribution of Essentia across all your territory. At its heart, or rather, its nerve center, is the Essentia Locus. Ooh. The potential of this system is high, but its beginnings may seem relatively humble. The Locus will simply examine the contents of watered jars and relay the combined total. Still, this is most convenient as a Vs reader could use it to react to the Essentia total of all your jars, and not just one. That's kind of cool. Once the key component of the Locus is crafted, it must be placed above a water crystal cluster that is above... read more please. Above a block of lapis lazuli. The lapis should be encircled by water, and the water should be contained on the sides by silverwood planks. Okay, and it gives you a map over here of what it's talking about. I see. The Essentia Locus must be placed last. Right, okay. Cool. Once the Locus is established, specify watered jars using crystalline eyes. A single eye can point to multiple jars. Any jars adjacent to the first's location and all similarly connected jars will be considered. Right-click on the Locus with an attuned eye to put it to use. Right-click with an empty hand to remove a crystalline eye. Normally, a maximum of 12 jars can be examined and only one crystalline eye can be used. Placing water crystal clusters adjacent to the silverwood planks of the construct increases this by 8 jars and 1 eye per cluster. Each cluster also increases the maximum distance a group of jars can be from the Locus. So it seems like what you want to do with this guy is you want to have basically you want to like have all your your clusters on top of these as well. You might as well just go for broke and make them max when you go here to make this. Okay. Note that while a Vs reader cannot be placed directly beneath the Essentia Locus block itself, one placed under any of the structure's water blocks will function, and additional readers can be set up using remote comparators. Yeah, that's just what I was thinking right there. You can just use remote comparators and problem solved. Essentia Reservoir. You have found that the Essentia Locus is capable of obtaining Essentia totals from an Essentia Reservoir similar to how it does from watered jars. It didn't even take any additional calibration. You just You must have seen this day coming. Truly your genius knows no limits. So that sounds like sort of an update when Essentia reservoirs were Essentia pumped into the game. Yeah. So the Essentia Locus, so it's just a way to maintain the library of how much Essentia that you have. It's kind of the way that I've set my Essentia storage area up is that it's... Oh man, I haven't actually turned that guy on yet, have I? Let's just quickly enable the flux scrubber. Okay, we've got to fix these things. I'll go ahead and do this on camera. Oh, they're blue. That's why they're not working. Right, so if I get that to IR, I'll put that there. Let's just switch all these over. They should work, I think. Yeah. Okay, that's IR going into here, or it's on anyway. Should be working now. Work away, my child. And maybe we can see a couple of these pop away. No, they'll go away in time. Anyway, yeah, the way that I've got my system set up is that I can I can just quickly see at a glance like how much Essentia that I have. Instead of like using a number, I just kind of use the visual fact that the jars are like full, you know? And sort of be like, oh, okay, we've got, you know, we could probably get another jar of Terra in here. Or, yeah, something like that, you know, just pump in a bit of Terra. We're always using Spiritus when we're making Ecor. Perifulio's starting to run a little bit low, so I can be like, okay, I need a bit more of Perifulio. So, the Essentia Locus is not going to be amazingly useful for me, I don't think. I'm probably not even sure I'm going to craft it if that's all it can do. But it does have a thing that it unlocked right here, the Essentia Aggregator. Perhaps this is a little bit more useful. So let's go ahead and pick this up for 5 Pre Contatio, 5 Limus, Iter, and Tenebre. Alright, so that one's pretty straightforward and easy to get. What does it have to say? Once you have established your Essentia Locus and pointed it to your vast collection of jars, it becomes time to convert your centralized Essentia counting system into a distribution hub. A locus with an Essentia aggregator placed directly beneath it becomes an Essentia source for any Essentia mirrors in the vicinity, as well as certain other devices, including the runic matrix. Essentia drawn from the locus is pulled from valid containers, such as water jars, that are being monitored by the locus. This gives you a central location to count Essentia, place mirrors, and perform infusions, but do you believe there is still more you could do with the locus in the future? Ooh, okay. Now that actually sounds a little bit more interesting, okay? Yeah, that's a little bit better. So, I'm just gonna... How does this work? A locus with an Essentia aggregator placed directly beneath. It's not amazingly expensive. I mean, I could make all this stuff really quickly, couldn't I? I'm not sure if I'm gonna set this up this episode, though. I'm a little bit low on time for today, unfortunately, so it is just gonna be one of those kind of quick patch researching episodes. Unfortunately, sorry guys. I really would like to just kind of focus on the locus exclusively here. Each of these does deserve its own episode in full, to be perfectly honest, but we will just go ahead and quickly pick up something else here to finish off the episode. I think we'll go ahead and do the Signum Entia, if we're pronouncing Latin correctly. Counting sheep, that's going to be a research note. Okay, this one's also... Oh, I thought it was blue. Maybe I'm a little bit colorblind, but no, that's green. Let's see. So green's going to be Erba, or Terra, or Limus. It's going to be Terra. Okay, as well as Spiritus, Bestia, Victus, and Sensus. Alright, let's get this party started. Now that's got to be Spiritus, but we're already using Spiritus, so this will have to be iron. So let's throw that down. Okay, those two can connect together fairly quickly using Arbor and Erba, just like so. So that's those two hooked up. How am I going to get this guy over though? Let's see, what was I using before? Eter is a pretty good one. Yeah, we can do something like that. I'm just trying to think. Volatus. Okay, we could do something like Volatus and save an aspect, but then we'd have to go into Motus. Volatus, Motus. Well, that actually would work, wouldn't it? So we can go Volatus, Motus right here, and Iter. Right, that'll connect those two together. Very nice. And then we've got Spiritus over here and Bestia. Now, Bestia is pretty much made of life. Okay. Okay, we're gonna have to remove the Malthus connection here. Alright. Let's get rid of those then. That really does suck, actually. Wheat trails. Okay, wheat trails. But we still have to go through Malthus if we wanted to go that way. Maybe we can, like, curve around like this rather than bringing these across. Okay. Well, let's try and get this connection sorted out. So, we've got Bestia right here, and that we basically need to use Malthus. So I think what I'll do is put Malthus right here. Alright. And then, let's see, we've got to either connect to Erba or this guy. Maybe what we could do is actually Sano Orido. That'll work. There we go, that's those two across like that. All fine and dandy. Now, how am I going to connect over to Spiritus? Well, we've got this right here. We could do something like a Death, Periditio, Permutatio. That's an idea. Death, Periditio, Permutatio. Okay, that's those two connected together. So how are we going to connect to here then? The best thing that we could probably do, I'm thinking of using Vinculum somehow. Okay, that's Malthus in there. Alright, since we're already using Sensus, Perifoldio is probably our best bet actually. So let's go Perifoldio Humanus over here, and then Cognitio. So, that did work out in the end. Not the way that I was expecting, but yeah, that actually, it's still fairly optimal actually. It's kind of surprising. Pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the research note. Signum Entia. What on earth could this possibly be? That did not unlock anything, so whatever this is a standalone product. Kind of excited to actually find out what the heck this all means. Let's have a look. A method of counting creatures and other entities in an area would be useful for many things. And a crystalline brain fortified with terror, with its affinity to both life, magic, and the building blocks of the corporeal, makes the perfect candidate for the job. This device will emit a redstone signal both directly and by comparator, when entities of a certain type are found in its range. The more there are, the stronger the signal. Red crystal is required to receive a signal strength over 15, okay? You can limit the count to include only adult animals or only children when applicable. Okay, so you can basically stick this up by your farms by the sound of it, so it'd be kind of nice to have one of these just over by my cow farm or chicken farm, just to kind of be like, hey man, there's like 70 cows in here or something like that, which would be kind of nice, very interesting. And again, this is just one of these quality of life things more than anything else, because you can still use F3 to like look at the entities. We'll look at that in a little bit if you don't know what I'm talking about. So the recipe for it is fairly straightforward. Instability negligible, a low amount of essentia. So the golden carrot's probably the most expensive thing there, or maybe the crystalline brain. Yeah, they're not too hard to get, but okay. What else we got here? Oh wow, there's even more. Okay. A lot more. Wall of text, Batman! The area examined by the device is determined by the blocks around it. Placing a block on one face will limit detection in that direction, but boost detection in the opposite. Blocks on opposite faces, for example north and south, will prevent detection in both directions. However, glass and replaceable blocks like water are ignored, allowing scanning in their direction, so it'll work through transparent blocks. Very nice. If, for example, all sides are open, then the device will be in the center of the area. If the only open sides are its top, north, and east, then the device will be in the bottom, southern, western corner of the area. In both examples, the area would be 11 by 11 by 11 blocks, which is the maximum possible size. Okay, cool, so that's your range right there. I actually make my farms 12 by 12, so... Oculo anima, as they would say in Latinus. To allow specification of an entity type, you have modified a crystalline eye such that it can be imprinted with a creature, spirit, or construct's signature traits. Simply right-click on the entity while holding the eye, then insert the attuned eye into the device. The eye can also be made to watch for humans or players, either a specific individual or humans in general. Wow, so you can like trap people if you're playing on a server. Kind of funny. Attuning it to another person is accomplished in the same manner as previously described. To focus the eye on yourself, hold shift right click for a couple of seconds while carrying it in your hand. Alright, and there it is, so you can make the Oculo Anima, the super version of the crystalline eye, which I believe is itself an infusion. Yeah, so you take your spider eye, get the crystalline eye, take your crystalline eye, throw it back in the crucible. You know, what do they call it when it's well done? A crystalline eye. Entities, that's all. Okay, and that's actually fairly cheap as well. A tiny Espiritus and Bestia. You can get both of those fairly easily. Okay, so the sort of both of these are kind of quality of life things. This guy's actually really nice as just being a hub for your Essentia stuff, but again, my Essentia storage is like right next to my runic matrix, which is pretty much the only thing that'll actually like take. Like, you can use with an Essentia mirror these days. I believe in the older versions of Thaumcraft, you used to be able to use the lamps of fertility and lamps of growth with the Essentia mirrors, but Addons changed it to where you need to do Essentia pipes, Essentia tubes, from wherever you need them to wherever they go. So, you know, having a system like what I've got here, where you've got, you know, your lamps of growth over there, over here, and over here, and they're all coming out of there. It's a lot of pipes. And not all of the Essentia will be able to get all the way around, even with the massive suction that the lamps of growth have. I mean, I'm not sure I like that change. Oh, and another thing that was changed as well, I believe, is the that furnace there. You have to pipe the Essentia into that guy now as well. Yeah, I personally think that those changes should not have been made, because it was a pretty big nerf. I think it would have been a little bit more creative for people to, like, have the Essentia mirrors around, because, you know, I remember this one video I saw where they had, like, 3 mirrors right next to each other, and, you know, Essentia was coming out of the alchemy lab. You could, like, see the Essentia go into the mirrors. It was kind of cool. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. There was a little bit of a ramble here on the end. The talk has begun in the comment section, by the way, folks, for the next add-on that we'll be adding into the series here. I believe the popular suggestion right now is a add-on called Witching Gadgets. I don't know anything about this mod, so you guys with a little bit more experience in it will have to let me know if that's a good decision to have as our next mod, or if you have a different opinion. Do feel free to let me know in the comments below. I kind of want to pool the opinions, because there are a lot of, like, I've made like 30 videos of this series, and there are suggestions from all sorts of people all across the series, so if you just happen to be watching this video and have a suggestion for an add-on, do feel free to post it on this video, so that, you know, it's just easy for me to go through when I'm looking at suggestions and just be like, okay, you know, that's what we should do next, kind of thing, alright? So that's what's going on there. That's the latest news with the series, I suppose you could say. I hope that you guys are enjoying the series. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get too much done today, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video all the same. Thank you guys very much for watching. Kia kaha, and I'll see you in the next video.